This is, my outfit currently is definitely not from LLB. I am running late this morning. I had to wait 10 minutes for my Egg McMuffin this morning, which I was not thrilled about, but at least it was fresh. So anyways, just give me 2 seconds. I am going to get my rack sorted out and I will change into something that is actually launching this week. This is just my outfit that I'm wearing. I don't have my office job today. We have a stat today. So this is not how I dress when I go to my office job. This is how I dress when I'm just being me. But just give me 2 seconds to get everything figured out because I'm running behind this morning, but I'm just going to get my rack sorted out and then we will good, okay. Today is September 30th. Okay, so this is today. I believe these are also today. I know I got a text about them from Carrie. It's launching at 1 p.m. Okay, so we do have a bonus 1 p.m. launch, so I will try that one on first. I was just starting out. Yeah, good morning everybody, thank you. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is not an LLB outfit. This is just what I wear when I'm not going to my office job. This is just how I dress outside of that. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm just figuring out my rack. Like I said, I was a little bit late this morning because I got stuck in the drive-thru for 10 minutes waiting for the freshest Egg McMuffin I've ever had in my life. So, I mean, at least that was a bonus, but I'm just getting, I think my rack's in order. So I will find the soonest pair of pants, which would be these ones, and the tops that I'm launching today. And I'm gonna go change into these right now. These are really cute, aren't they? These are gonna be our bonus launch at 1 p.m. I think I'm gonna put on the black one just because, like, clearly I'm in a mood for black today because that's just what I'm wearing. But I'll grab that and I'll grab these pants. I'm gonna head off camera and change real quick. Also, I'll introduce myself in a bit. Clearly, as I'm sure you could figure out, I'm a little bit like jumbled this morning just because, like I said, I was running behind. I was so proud of myself too because I was actually early for most of my day because, like I mentioned, I have a stat today for my work. Even though it's not recognized province-wide, my workplace chooses to honor Truth and Reconciliation Day because we do a lot of work with Indigenous communities. I work for an environmental consulting firm, so we do a lot of work with Indigenous communities and Indigenous partners, so just as a sign of respect to them, we honor the Truth and Reconciliation Day, but I still was coming in, excuse me, but I was still coming in for this today. So I had extra time this morning to like do my makeup and everything like that. Oh, maybe these Dorothy tops are, they're not the ones that are launching at 1 p.m. Okay, well, I'm just gonna put this one on anyways, since it's over here. And then I'll talk about the Michelle Mays. I think the sweaters must be the one that are going at 1 p.m. But anyways, so I had to come in for this, so I had extra time to like do my makeup and all this stuff. And I was early, I was running ahead of schedule. And then McDonald's goes and puts me right behind schedule again. There we go. Good morning, Brenda. Hello. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Caroline. Good morning. Okay, so now I'll actually do a proper introduction now and then I'm actually in an LLB outfit. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle. I am the plus size, the upper end plus size model at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I'm not the only plus size model. Of course, we have the lovely Melissa, who is our like mid-size plus size. She ranges from an extra large to a 2X depending on the fit, and then I am our 2X, 3X model, so the upper end of the plus size spectrum. I, as stated, I typically wear a 3X, 2X, 3X, still mostly a 3X, but I find that especially with some brands like Michelle May, I have been sizing down more frequently. I wear an 18W in Judy Blue jeans. These ones are no exception. And for height reference, I am 6'1", so I'm very tall, so I do talk about length and stuff as it affects someone who is in a taller body like me. So with that, let me figure out what top I'm wearing. I'm wondering because they're usually pretty good. Carrie and Christina figured out that I like my rack in order of the week. So I'm going to assume that if this isn't on today's drop, which I don't see it, that this must have launched yesterday. So I'm going to double check that. This is a size large, whatever it is that I'm wearing, but I think we must have figured it would fit me too. No, I don't see it for yesterday because we had the sisters long sleeves. Is it today and I just can't see it? Am I crazy? I'm just gonna search what this is called. That might be easier. This is the Dorothy short sleeve sweater. Okay, so this is the Dorothy short sleeve sweater in taupe. This one launches, oh, this is not in order. This is a Thursday by the looks of it. So I'm just gonna plop it over here. I guess we're getting a little bit ahead of the day. So we'll start with a Thursday top. It was just kind of plonked on the end of the rack, probably because they were like, we don't know if it'll fit, but it fits oversized. So we'll start with that. Okay. So this is the Dorothy short sleeve sweater. We have it in taupe and we have it in the black that I'm wearing currently. These are going to be retailing for $69. They come in small, medium, large, but as we can see, they definitely fit very oversized. I'm wearing the size large, and it is very much a cropped kind of sweater on me, but still it gives like a baggy kind of vibe. I will say for this one, the neck does touch around my neck, so if you're someone who doesn't like turtlenecks and doesn't like the feeling of something being on your neck, this one, it's not tight by any means, but it is like, I can feel it on my neck like it is touching, so that's just something to be aware of. That's probably like exacerbated by the fact that I am sizing down into a size large from a 3X. I'm sure that if you're typically a size large or extra large, it probably wouldn't be as close to your neck, but that's just speculation. So the brand for these ones is Sweet Generis, which I don't think I'm super familiar with them. I don't think they have a lot of stuff that comes in plus, so that's probably why. But again, because this is such an oversized fit, we figured this one would probably work for me, and it definitely does. Where's the other one? Yes. So I will grab both of these, and when we actually get to Thursday, I'll just do a reminder again, because of the way they were ordered on my rack, I was kind of confused. I was like, where did these actually come? But so we do have the taupe color and the black. They have the same kind of flower motifs on them. I really like these flowers too. They are like still knitted, but they're like standing out from it. So they've got this kind of like embossed kind of vibe going on. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, I really like it. And then the back doesn't have any of the flower detailing. The back is just the back. It does have like almost like a loose, like somewhere between a sweater vest and like a dolman short sleeve, if that makes sense. Super cute. So again, I'm wearing the size large, but clearly they definitely have a bit of an oversized vibe because I'm wearing the size large. Again, a little cropped on me. These are a high-waisted jean, and this is coming like kind of just meeting the top of the jean. But as we know, I do personally love a good cropped sweater, so that's not something that bothers me at all. So again, this is the Dorothy, what do we call it? The short-sleeved sweater in black. This one's going on Thursday, just a little bit of confusion this morning, so I'll remind us again when we get to Thursday. $69 for this one, small, medium, large, but you can definitely size down. Carrie and Christine are both in the small. Carrie can't wear the medium, but prefers the small, and then again, I can wear the large. If I can wear the large, I'm sure Melissa would also be able to wear the large very easily for this one. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the actual Tuesday now that I've got my head on straight. Today is the 30th. Today's also Orange Shirt Day, by the way, which is why I was mentioning that it is a stat holiday for some folks. The province of Alberta doesn't officially recognize it, but businesses can opt into it, which my actual day job has opted to. I don't have an orange shirt to wear today, so I did orange makeup because my only orange shirt, of course, is in the washing machine as we speak. Well, it's probably, I'm sure my husband's probably moved it to the dryer since I've been gone, but I threw it in the laundry this morning, and then afterwards, after I hit start, realized, oh no, it's Orange Shirt Day, and that's the only orange shirt that I own. So, so I did orange makeup to kind of do something. But anyways, we are gonna go next to the Zoe Zip Cowl. This is the one that's kind of a bonus launch from Michelle May. This one is going to be launching at 1 p.m. So most of our regular launch will be launching at the usual 8 p.m., but this is our bonus 1 p.m. launch. This is the Zoe Zip Cowl. I haven't even put it on yet, but I already know I'm going to love this one. I just grabbed the 2X. I have the 2X and the 3X on my rack, so if we want me to try on both, I can. But I just grabbed the 2X because, as history has shown us, I genuinely take a 2X in Michelle May. I think we've had one sweater that's been the exception. So we're just going to assume that is the case here, and I'm going to try this one on. This is gorgeous. A lot of the Michelle May sweater designs that we've been seeing kind of give me vibes of like, basically if Ampersand and Wanakomi had a baby, because it's a lot of the cool like crossover details and the little leather patches and stuff that we see from Wanakomi, but then the lighter, stretchier fabrics that we get from Ampersand. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from these. And I'm seriously so in love with it. And I mean, the price point is around that Ampersand price point, a little bit more affordable than Wanakomi. So I'm definitely a fan. I mean, I just in general am a fan of Michelle May because of their size inclusivity, and just, I find that their sizing is really generous and really well thought out. So, and of course they're called Michelle May, so I'm gonna have a little bit of name bias, I won't lie. Okay, there she is. So this is the 2X on me. I can tell that the 3X would absolutely be too big. I'm almost considering grabbing a 1X to try, just because with the 2X, I still have quite a bit of room in the sleeves. I have a lot of room in the bust. The cowl still has a lot of room, and the hips doesn't crimp in. If you wanted it to be a looser fit, this would absolutely be a good fit, but I am gonna see if I can scope out the 1X and try that on for myself. Right, Stacey, isn't it gorgeous? I love the vivid red of these flowers. It's kind of reminiscent, it kind of reminds me of poppies. I'm not sure if they are poppies. I don't think they are, but gorgeous, gorgeous color. This bright red is amazing for winter too. That's such a nice bright color. I will give the rundown on it before I go and track down the 1X to see if it fits me better, assuming it comes in a 1X. We usually, yes. So again, this is the Zoe Zip Cowl sweatshirt in the color Sunset Floral. This one's retailing for $99. So again, around that Ampersand price point, not as high of a price point as Wanakomi, but a lot of those same kind of cool like scrunchy details and like the little leather patches. I think it's faux leather. So this one is available in sizes small through 3X, and that includes both an extra large and a 1X for this one. Christine and Carrie both wear their typical sizes of small and medium. Melissa wears the extra large. I am in the 2X, but again, I think I might actually prefer the 1X for this one because for something like this, I would be going for like an Ampersand double hood fit personally, which I prefer to wear a little bit more slim fit. So I am going to try the 1X as well to see if the slim fit vibe is kind of more my thing. But good to know that for the plus sizes, definitely on the generous side. I would say if you're in between for plus sizes, like for me especially being between a 2X and a 3X, size down because I still have lots of room in this one in the 2X. Let's show off some of the really cool details with this one as well. This one, it does have the little thumb holes on the sleeves, and the sleeves are definitely long enough for me that, and that's might be one of my concerns if I do size down to the 1X, is that I might lose a little bit of that sleeve length. But as it is right now, like I can stick out my arm all the way, and that isn't pulling and like cutting off my circulation. I still have lots of sleeve length, but it's also not so much sleeve that it's like dangling and crazy. So I do have long arms, being, you know, 6'1", I am very tall. But if you are someone who doesn't have long arms like me, I don't think you're gonna have so much extra sleeve that it's gonna be cumbersome. We do have a kangaroo pocket on this one. There's no zip. It can be kind of hard to see with like a pattern sometimes to see where the zippers are, but it is a pullover, and we have the full kangaroo pocket here. Right, Stacey, Michelle May has been absolutely killing it with their fall stuff. Like such a good variety of like classic staples and like gorgeous sweaters and florals, and like their Halloween stuff was super cute. Like they've been absolutely nailing it, and I'm obsessed. And again, most of their stuff comes up to a 3X, sometimes even a 4X, and I find that their plus fit's generous, so like so it kind of even bumps it up. Plus they still go to a small, and sometimes I think even an extra small. So like such an awesome brand. I'm obsessed with them. Right, Jessica, it's gorgeous. And so the reason that it's the cowl zip is because we have this little zipper right here, which is definitely giving me like double hood vibes. And then it actually unzips here. And then we have this kind of fold over cowl. So you can leave it unzipped and get this kind of folded vibe, or you can zip it up and then you get this kind of crossover cowl effect. And then it's not a hood, it is just the cowl neck, which a lot of people actually don't like. They like having that feeling of having stuff around their head, like the coziness, but actually without having like a whole hood on the back, because a lot of times you don't actually use the hood. So this is a really good option for if you want that like snuggled in feeling without having to deal with a whole hood underneath. So that is fantastic. And like, I love that folded over like vibe. It's so cute. It kind of reminds me of like a bandana almost. I love it. I feel like because it is starting to get colder. It's supposed to be like, it was only 11 on my drive here. There was a guy driving on the Hyundai with his top down convertible. I was like, why do you have the top down? It is freezing. I had the heat turned up in my car on the way here. Oh, I know, Virginia. I'm obsessed with this one. So like you could almost like, you know, pull it over your face a little bit to keep you warm as that wind picks up, because it's still fairly nice during the day here in Edmonton/Sherwood Park, but the nights are chilly for sure. Like I'm almost getting to the point where I need to wear like my big hoodies and vests for dog walking, which, speaking of, we have an incredible vest that will be probably my new dog walking vest this week, but definitely want to show this off. So again, this is the Zoe Zip Cowl Sweatshirt in Sunset Floral, $99 for this one. Sizes small through 3X, and that includes both a 1X and an extra large. Everyone's wearing their typical sizes, except I might size down to the 1X. I'm gonna go see if I can track it down. Melissa went with the extra large, which makes me think that I'm probably gonna be doing okay in the 1X. And then Christine in the small and Carrie in the medium. And again, it's not that the 2X doesn't fit, it's just for this type of sweater, I prefer it to be a little bit more slim fit, and I find that I have quite a bit of extra room, especially in like the sleeves and the shoulders and the bust. If you are bustier than me, which frankly you probably are, because I do have a very small bust for someone who wears a 2X, 3X. I'm a 44C/46B, which is kind of hard to find actually. So I have a smaller bust, but yeah. Oh, thank you. I mentioned before for my eyeshadow that because today's orange shirt day and I had thrown my only orange shirt in the wash this morning before I realized I didn't have another orange shirt to wear, so I did orange eyeshadow for orange shirt day because that's what I could do for orange. All right, also thank you. I also had time this morning to actually like sit down and do my makeup. I didn't do full foundation and stuff just because I knew I was trying on a cowl neck and I didn't want to like rub foundation on it, but just did what I could. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly see if I can find the 1X. If I can't find it in 2 seconds, we'll just call it good. Okay. I did find the 1X. It might have taken more than 2 seconds, but it wasn't that long, so we're still gonna try it on. So just a reminder for the zip cowl, this one is our bonus launch today. So this one is going to be launching at 1 p.m. while the rest of the daily drop is going to be at the usual 8 p.m. So if this is one you want to pick up, this one is going to be a bit earlier at one, well, not a bit, that's 7 hours. That's pretty significant. But so this one is launching this afternoon, not this evening. Okay. Okay, yeah, so here is the 1X, and this fits me the way that a ampersand 3X double hood would fit. So if you wanted to compare the sizing of this for the plus sizes to like an ampersand double hood, this 1X fits me the way that my 3X ampersand double hood pullovers fit. So this one is, I still have lots of length, especially in the sleeves, which is what I wanted to check, which is great. I can still stick out my arm and this isn't like pulling against that in between my fingers and cutting off circulation. Sleeves are still long enough, a little bit shorter going down, but like maybe by like a centimeter or two, like not much at all. I still have good room in the shoulders and enough room in the bust, but it's just not quite as baggy for me. I do have still, it's not like skin tight, but I just have a little bit of room here. And then for me, the biggest thing is I like with these sweaters is I like when they're snug around my hips. I like when that band doesn't have any like any flow or gaping. I like that to sit right on my hips. And in the 1X, the band is tight against my hips and then kind of flows everywhere. So for myself, I would purchase the 1X because I want this to fit like an ampersand double hood. And so because of that, I actually size to the 1X. So if you want to have more of that ampersand double hood kind of fit, I would definitely suggest sizing down for this one. And honestly, just seeing the way that Carrie looked in the product photos in the medium, I would say it looked like it was looser than a typical double hood fit on her. So I would say if you wanted to have more of that double hood, slimmer fit, size down. Otherwise, your true size will fit just a little bit more loose and relaxed. So it totally depends on which vibe you're going for. And in terms of like the neck cowl and everything, I'm still getting that like loose, fun, comfy vibes. I don't find that sizing down has made this feel like it's close to my neck or chest or anything like that. So once again, an absolutely gorgeous piece. I love that we have that gorgeous red floral all the way around. So I spent quite a bit of time talking about this piece, but I think that's because it's such a beautiful piece that it honestly deserves the attention. So once again, this is the Zoe Zip Cowl sweatshirt in Sunset Floral. This is from Michelle May. This one is launching at 1 p.m. today, Mountain Daylight Time. It's gonna be standard time like so soon. I just know it. It's gonna screw me up again. I know it. I think it might actually happen. Is it around Thanksgiving? It might actually happen while I'm away on my trip. So maybe it won't. Maybe I'll be so jet lagged from being in Japan that I won't even notice it when I come back. But anyways, this one's available in sizes small through 3X with both an extra large and a 1X. Christine wears the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and then I can wear the 1X or the 2X. For my own fit preference, I prefer the slimmer fit of the 1X. This one actually, no, that's perfect. I'm glad you're asking. This is Michelle May. This one launches today at 1 p.m. This is a bonus launch, so it's going to be launching in like an hour and a half for this one. And it's Michelle May. So I just mentioned that I can wear either the 2X. I typically a 2X, 3X. I usually wear a 2X in Michelle May. I actually size down to the 1X for this one because it fits very similarly to how a ampersand double hood 3X typically fits me. So I would say if you want more of that slim fit where it's kind of more fitted in the hips, you could probably size down, but it'll be, or you can stick with your true size and it'll be a little bit more relaxed, but not like baggy, but just a little bit more flowy and comfy if that's the vibe you're going for. Oh my goodness, it is 11:30 and I've done like 2 pieces and one of them was out of order. But anyways, let us go through and see what else we've got for the day. I'm realizing I don't think my rack is 100% in order, so I'm just gonna make sure, yeah, I've got this. I should have the Aurora, which is this one. I've got the brunette, I've got the dress. Oh, that's not for me. I've got the jacket. Okay, I think we've got everything. So I'm going to switch to the boxy tee from Brunette the Label, and I'll be right back and I'll talk about the boxy tee and then I'll also talk about the jeans while I'm wearing this because it's a nice cropped-ish t-shirt, so it'll be easy to talk about the jeans while I'm wearing that one. Okay. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday so far. Mine started, I honestly, if I hadn't have been talking to my husband last night, I might have forgot to come in today because today is a stat for me at my regular job, which is literally a block away from the LLB storefront / warehouse. So usually what happens, especially on days where I have just my live and we're not doing photos beforehand, is I just go to my office job for the morning and start, and then I just leave at around 10:45 and pop on over here to do my live, and then I go on back to work afterwards. But because today is not a work day for me, I was like, oh great, I get to sleep in, I'm just gonna do this and blah, blah, blah. And then my husband was talking to me yesterday, he's like, but wait, what about the boutique? And I was like, you are so right, my beautiful husband. Thank you so much for reminding me, because otherwise I would have probably still been in bed right now. Except actually I had an email I had to check this morning, because even though my company is off, a lot of our clients are not having today off. So I had an important thing that I had to check for a client that's due today, but all taken care of. Anyways, that is a lot about me and my personal life. Let us move on to, okay, now, so that, the Michelle May, this is today at 1 p.m. Everything else now is part of regular drops. So this outfit is part of the regular Tuesday drop that will be at 8 p.m. tonight, Mountain Daylight Time. So let's start with the Brunette the Label boxy tee in white. This one is retailing for $66, and it is available in split sizing is what Brunette the Label likes to do. So extra small, small, small medium, medium large, large, extra large, 2X, and then 2X, 3X. I am wearing the 2X, 3X, at least I'm pretty sure I am. I think that's what I like in the boxy tee, if I remember. I cannot find, oh, it's because it's in my armpit. Yeah, this is a 2X, 3X, and because it is meant to be like a boxier tee, that is definitely my size preference. I could probably wear the XL 2X if I wanted to be a little bit more fitted, but I do like that this one is more of like almost like boyfriendish, cut like this, a little bit cropped and everything. Arriving late, you see at a Starbucks run. Oh, absolutely. That's, I mean, that was partially why I was late this morning too by a few minutes, is because I had to stop at McDonald's and get my coffee. Although the coffee is not what made me late, it was the Egg McMuffin. But I totally understand. I will always stop for coffee first. Okay. I just realized drinking that while I'm wearing a white shirt was probably a little risky, but we're okay. Nothing happened. Yeah, so again, it comes in the split sizing, and I'm wearing the 2X, 3X. And I would definitely say that is my true size because this is a boxier, almost like boyfriend style cut. I could size down to the XL 2X if I wanted it to be a little bit more cropped and a little bit less boxy, but that is not the intended fit. So I would definitely say that the 2X, 3X is my true size for this one. The material in this one is 100% cotton, as is, I'm pretty sure, pretty much every t-shirt that we get from Brunette the Label. So it's going to be super comfy, super breathable. I'm probably going to snatch one of these to wear while I'm in Japan because it is going to be there, because I'm going at the end of October, beginning of November, but their fall is later than theirs. I would say the weather is more similar to like Vancouver. Although it does get hotter there, but it is more like that kind of coastal, at least in Tokyo for sure, it's more like that. So it's still going to be like 20 degrees even though we're there at the end of October. And I don't like hot weather, and we're going to be walking like 30,000 steps a day while we're there. So I definitely want some nice breathable, moisture wicking cotton to wear because I am going to be a hot, sweaty mess for a lot of it, I am sure. Yeah, so again, this is from Brunette the Label. It is just a very cute, basic boxy tee. We've had a couple different colorways. I am so thrilled that we started bringing back Brunette the Label. It's a really awesome Canadian-owned brand, and they're also super size inclusive, and they have been right off the get-go. I still own from, like, but when we carried them before and then we stopped for a while, I still own a ton of Brunette the Label pieces from the before. We stopped carrying them time, and I still wear them all the time. And now we're just kind of starting slower with some of the like the basic pieces for fall, like the t-shirts and whatnot, and then we're going to be having more coming in the near future, so very excited for that. So again, this is the Brunette the Label boxy tee in white, $66 for this one. Sizes extra small, small through 2X, 3X. I am wearing the 2X, 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizes. So Christine in the extra small, small, Carrie goes for the small medium, and Melissa wears the large, extra large, or the extra large 2X, depending, again, if you want that like boxier fit or if you want it to be a little less like relaxed and boyfriendy in the fit. Okay, and let's go to the Judy's. I'm just going to tuck up the shirt a little bit because it's cropped, but it's not so cropped that we can't see the top of the jeans. So if I do that, you can see. Okay, so these are from Judy, of course. These are the non-distressed dark wash skinnies, aka the Grants. These ones are available in sizes 1 through 15, and then 14 through 22W for the plus sizes. I am wearing my typical 18W in these, and we are all wearing our typical Judy sizes. So Christine in the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa is in the 14, and I am in my typical 18, as just mentioned. As in the description, it's pretty straightforward, a non-distressed dark wash skinny jean. That is exactly what these are. These are an amazing staple for us millennials who still, I find, like, I've strayed away from skinny jeans a lot in the last year. So like I don't think I've bought a single pair of skinny jeans this year. I think all the jeans I've bought have been like wide leg or at least like a dad cut or a straight cut. But that's because I already had 17 pairs of skinny jeans that are all still in really good condition too. I do have a few of my Judy's that I'm probably gonna post them on the Lavender and Lace buy and sell, just because there are a lot of my old 20s and even a couple of 22s from before I lost weight that are just too loose now, but they're still in really good shape because Judy's do hold up really well over time. So maybe I will have to buy a couple new pairs of skinny jeans to replace those ones. But anyways, these ones are just a very tried and true classic. They are this really nice dark wash. They do have some good fading on the thighs. Just like the slightest hint of whiskering, not really a lot. It's more so just kind of the fading effect on the thighs. And then same thing in the back. There's a little bit of fading on the booty, but no whiskering, nothing crazy. And then in terms of length, these are a little bit longer than I find a lot of typical Judy skinnies. I don't have the actual inseam information on the iPad in front of me, but just based on how they feel, I would say these are probably like a 30-inch. So they're a little bit longer. I find a lot of the other Judys are typically, for skinnies, are like a 29 or a 28 because they're like a full-on ankle jean on me, whereas these ones are, they're still not long enough for me, like just because of me being 6'1" and having a 35, 36 inch inseam, that's just gonna happen. But these are a little bit on the longer side, so if you find that you're maybe just like an inch or two shorter than you'd like to be sometimes with Judy skinnies, these ones are a little bit on the longer side. So just to give a heads up for that. So again, these are the Judy Blue non-distressed dark wash skinnies, aka the Grants. $97 for these one, and they're in the Judy size range. I don't want to say the full Judy size range because we don't have the 0 and we don't have the 24. Judy still makes those, it's just that we've found that we don't really sell a lot of those sizes, hardly at all, and so we don't carry them in every style all the time. We do bring them in occasionally, but we found that those are the ones that kind of end up becoming warehouse finds because they're the ones that, you know, everything else will be selling and those ones won't. But we still have them in 1 through 15 and then 14W through 22W. I am in my usual size 18 for these, and everyone else is also in their typical size. So very typical, true Judy Blue sizing for these ones. Okay, let's go to the next. I think I'll get through all of the tops that we have on the list, because we still have 2 sweaters. We have this, oh my God, I'm so in love with this. I'm head over heels for this koala jacket, but let's do that with this, I think. And so we have the jacket, we have the sweaters, and then we have this really cute dress, which I didn't actually get I realized I didn't actually get a photo in these for the website because this is the dress I was wearing when I spilled my coffee last week. So I was so busy trying to clean up coffee and not get it on the dress that I never actually came over and took my photo in it. So good thing that I'm trying it on now because you guys will be able to see me in it. So I'll do that last just because then that way I can switch to the next pair of jeans afterwards. A lot of the times I will say like 80% of my strategy when I do my try-ons is like minimizing the amount of times that I have to change pants because I hate changing pants. It is the most time-consuming part of doing the try-ons and clothing, especially with photos. I will strategically arrange my rack so that I can like minimize the amount of pants changes and therefore shoe changes that I have to do to be like maximum efficiency. And that's just in general, that's like my take on photos is like whatever I can do to maximize efficiency and crank out the most photos in the shortest amount of time. Honestly, that's just what I live a lot of my life by is like, how can I be the most efficient possible? It's so funny because I'm like that, especially like driving. Like I always take the same route home once I figured out what is the fastest, or at least what feels like it's the fastest to me. I'll check Google Maps before I leave my commute or something like that, just to make sure there's not like an accident on the Hyundai, so that to make me take my route. Whereas my husband, when we're coming home from stuff, he takes a different way every time. Just like, I just want to drive and see what's going on, and I'm like, no, this takes 4 minutes longer. And it's just totally different vibes that we have there because I'm, again, whatever is the most efficient is what I crave. Okay, I'm going on a lot of tangents today. Wow. Clearly that coffee is getting to me. Also probably the fact that I did get to sleep in a little bit this morning because I didn't have to get up for work. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this jacket. I might also buy this. It might be too heavy, although it is still going to be getting down to single digits in the evenings while we're in Japan. I'm thinking about getting this as my like warm, cozy coat, but it's also a bit bulkier and like we're only taking 1 suitcase on the way there so that we can buy another suitcase and bring 2 check bags on the way home for all the stuff we're gonna buy because I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna black out, but I haven't decided yet. Anyways, this is from Koality. This is the printed Sherpa fleece jacket in Sunset Stallion. This is the same pattern that we had launched last week, but a different colorway, and I'm obsessed with this lilac and this like periwinkle blue. The fact that it is still that like desert mountain horse scene, but in a totally different color palette. I'm obsessed. Of course, we all know I love purple. My wedding set is purple. Even some of my nails are purple right now. Like, I love purple. Purple is my favorite color. So as soon as I saw this, I squeaked a little. And then again, I mentioned last week in my live that the last time we had quality Sherpas like this, I want to say it was, I don't think it was last winter. I want to say it was 2 winters ago. It was before I lost some weight, and I could wear them over, but I couldn't quite zip them, or I could, but it was like, I couldn't move very well. So when this zipped, and not only did it just zip, like it fits me like as it should, as an XXL, I was over the moon. So like, yeah, I definitely flipped my lid a little bit. Thank you. Yes, like I do need it, right? Like it's the perfect color. I don't even own a Sherpa jacket at all. So like, it's not even like I'm buying, like when I buy my ampersand hoodies and I already have 30 of them. And no, like this is actually like a niche in my closet I need. So there's a very strong chance that I'm going to be buying this tonight at 8 p.m. I meant to watch the live last night and do it, but I ended up working a little bit late last night for that same project for a client that I mentioned I had to check this morning. But yeah, I'm a little bit in love. So again, this is the quality printed Sherpa fleece jacket in Sunset Stallion. $120 for this one, which I think is such a reasonable price for like how thick and gorgeous this jacket is. We do have full zip pockets on the front, which I love. I'm also just reminding myself, I'm like, that's great, because then when I have stuff in my pockets when I'm walking around in Japan, it'll be like secure in there and I won't lose stuff while I'm on the train. Like, I'm trying so hard to justify this to myself. I already told my husband about it, and he's like, just buy it. Like, you love it. Like, just get it. And I was like, yeah, but I also want to get like all the brunette, the label t-shirts and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, he's basically just like, if you can afford it, just do it. So we're both like that. We're very supportive of each other's hobbies. I'll do a little rotate at the back so that we can see the patterning there. For the sizing for this one, it is true to size, maybe even a little bit generous. So Christine can wear the small or the extra small. Carrie wears the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and then of course I am in the 2X. So all pretty typical sizing for us. The other thing, I don't think I remember to show this off last week with the other one, but something else I really like about this jacket is instead of having like a fuzzy liner, it has this really cool mesh liner. It's almost kind of like sport mesh. It reminds me of like the liner that's like on the inside of like Umbro shorts from way back when. So it just gives it a little bit more breathability, and it's nice because some people don't like having that like really like teddy bear fleecy stuff against their skin on a jacket because it can kind of like rub against whatever you're wearing underneath or whatnot. So that just makes it feel a little nicer and like smooth, and it just kind of like glides on when you slip your sleeves on. So again, this is the quality printed Sherpa fleece jacket in Sunset Stallion for this one, $120, and it sizes extra small through 2X, which is what I wear. Well, it's not a 2X, it's an extra, extra large technically. And also, Quality is a Canadian-owned brand, which is a really cool detail. I always like to mention that because we have, especially with like the whole like tariffs and everything, it's kind of changed the way we order from some of our vendors. So the fact that we are having cool Canadian-owned vendors, like of course we've always had Dex, but then we have Brunette the Label coming back, and we have Quality, which are all Canadian-owned brands. It's just really awesome that we have so many that we can brag about that make such cool stuff. Okay, moving on to the Kelly knitted top in slate purple. This is such an interesting color. It's almost like, it's like a gray purple. It's like indigo-ish almost. Is it blue? Is it gray? Is it purple? It does this really cool kind of like, will it, won't it? I will say the dominating color is still purple, but it is a very blue purple and a very cool toned like gray undertone purple, which is gorgeous. So this one is from the brand Michelle May, of course. This one is retailing for $62. Size is small to 3X, and that includes both an extra large and a 1X as the middle sizes for that one. This one is a small for Christine, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa is in the extra large, and I'm in my typical 2X for this one for Michelle May. Again, I'm a 2X, 3X, but in Michelle May almost exclusively, except for literally one sweater from like 3 weeks ago, I wore the 3X. Other than that, I am always in the 2X. And that is Also the case for this one, the material on this one is 100% polyester for the yarn that was used for the knit. I love that it's this cool, like very square knit. It's almost, it almost looks like a gingham print, but of course it's just like the knit pattern. To see it so perfectly square, like, but because it's, and it's not quite plaid, because it's so even and it's only like the two-dimensional, I feel like gingham is kind of the best way to describe it. And then we have the ribbed collar and then the ribbed sleeves as well. And then we do have a little bit of a ribbed, I guess not cuff, but band along the bottom, just to give it a little bit more shape, but it is still an overall kind of slouchy, relaxed kind of sweater. I like that it's kind of similar to this top, the Dorothy that we tried on earlier, where it's like not quite a like sweater, like a sweater vest kind of vibe, but not like a full t-shirt sleeve, but not quite a dolman. It's kind of like, it's like a, not even like a quarter sleeve, it's like a, like an 1/8 sleeve or something like that. It's just like a hint of sleeve, may contain sleeve. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully I'm at least entertaining though. But yeah, I adore this color. It is super gorgeous. And again, it does have a little bit more of a flowy, relaxed fit, but it's not full on like oversized or anything like that. That being said, you probably could size down if you wanted it to be a little bit more fitted. Again, this is the 2X on me. I could size down to the 1X if I wanted to be a more fitted sweater, but I do like the kind of flowiness and the relaxed fit that this one provides, especially with these slouch sleeves. I think it just gives it a really fun and casual vibe. That would still be really nice to dress up with a pair of slacks or something like that. Again, this is the Kelly knitted top in the color slate purple. I love that description. I think that's the perfect color description for this. $62 for this one, sizes small through 3X. With both an extra large and a 1X, and again, this one is Michelle May. I'm wearing my typical 2X for this one that I typically wear in Michelle May. All right, we have another sweater. We have the Aurora Cozy Sweater. This one is also from Michelle May, and I also wear the 2X in this one, so I'm gonna go throw this one on. Oh no, and I left the Brunette Lily shirt over here by its lonesome. I will bring it back with me so it can rejoin its friends on the rack. Okay. Oh, this one, the knit just feels, I get why it's the cozy sweater, because the knit just feels a little like extra soft and a little bit extra snuggly. So this one is definitely an oversized sweater, and it's meant to be an oversized sweater. You'll see in a second here. Like, definitely long, super comfy, oversized. This is me in the 2X, and it's still very oversized. Again, I could probably size down to the 1X, but it's meant to be a big, slouchy, cozy. This would be so cute with a pair of black leggings and a pair of high boots. Remember when those little like teaser socks were the thing, where you just get those little leg bands that were knitted and you just have them poke out over the top of your boot to make it look like you were wearing knitted socks without having to wear knitted socks? I want to say that was like, I want to say it was like the early 2010s or maybe the mid 2010s when that was a thing, because I know my mom got me a few pairs of stocking stuffers, and I still have some of them, and I don't use them as often now, but like when I was, it must have been the early 2010s, because I think she got them for me when I was in university, and I wore them all the time with my knee-high boots. I thought they were so cute. But anyways, I feel like this is the kind of sweater that would look so cute with knee-high boots with like a knit sock sticking out over top of like a black legging. Just adorable. So this is the Aurora Cozy Sweater in gray. Again, this one is from Michelle May, who's absolutely killing it with the fall stuff. Like I said, like going from like super versatile, like going from really gorgeous patterned, fun, like pullovers and things like that, to more practical sweaters, to super cozy, comfy stuff, like just nailing it. I'm obsessed with Michelle May. So this sweater is retailing for $79, and it's available in sizes small through 3X, again, including both an extra large and a 1X. This one is definitely an oversized fit. It's got like quite significant drop shoulders and everything like that. We do suggest sizing down for a bit of a slimmer fit. So Christine and Carrie both wear the small for this one. We're not, so Melissa wears the large or the extra large, and then again, I'm in the 2X. I could probably size down to the 1X, but for me, I like how oversized this is. Just seeing the 2X on myself, this is definitely what I would purchase for myself, because it is a good mix of still being that super comfy oversized, but not being, like when I tried on the 3X, I was like swimming in it. Like it felt like I was wearing like a sleeping bag almost, like it was too much. So for me, the 2X is the perfect blend of being oversized, but still being like functional and really adorable and cozy. So this one is a viscose poly blend. Yeah, I'll do a quick little twirl. We do have the super drop shoulder. We've got this exposed stitching kind of vibe on it, which I always love on a comfy sweater like this. And then I think my favorite part that just makes it feel extra cozy is I love when the sleeves are baggy, but then are a little bit tighter around the arms, because it just feels like extra secure, and then it doesn't feel like your sleeves are gonna get in the way. So the cuffs on this one are extra long. Like the cuff goes from here to here instead of like typically you'd see a sweater cuff like that. So it's not quite like the, what are the sweaters we launched last week, where they have like the full tight arm and then into the dolman style, but it kind of gives that vibe because it's just kind of a little bit closer to the forearm for quite a while, so it just makes it feel like it's going to stay in place really nicely, and just gives it like a little bit of a tighter fit just right at that beginning of the forearm. And then the rest of the sleeves are loose and bunchy, and we do have that kind of dolman slash like batwing effect going on a little bit. And then if we turn to the side, we do have this little split hem detail, and then it is slightly longer in the back, not a ton. It might also just be the way it's sitting on me, but I feel like it's just slightly longer in the back. It's not quite long enough to give me 100% booty coverage, but again, I am 6'1", so on most folks, this would probably be full tunic length on you, which again would be amazing for wearing with leggings and high boots. So again, this is the Aurora Cozy Sweater in Gray from Michelle May, $79 for this one. Sizes small through 3X. We do suggest sizing down for a slimmer fit. Christine and Carrie both wear the small. Melissa can wear the large or the extra large, and then I'm wearing the 2X. I could wear the 1X, but I do like just the extra comfy oomph that I get with the 2X, and this is what I would purchase for myself if I were to purchase it. Okay. Finally, we have the Michaela Floral Tiered Dress in black. This one is from Haptics, which I'm really excited about because we had so many pretty floral summer dresses from Haptics this year, but I think it's really fun that we are getting more of like a foray into fall styles with them now, but still with really pretty feminine floral details. For this one, I have the 2X and the 3X. I believe when I, half tried it on and did take a photo of it, I was in the 3X, and I think lengthwise I needed that 3X, so I'm going to try on the 3X. I do have the 2X if I want to size down in that one, because I find that Haptics is one of those brands where it really depends on the piece whether I take a 2X or a 3X. I think I'm more often a 3X with Haptics still, but I know that there was a couple of dresses this summer, and there's been a couple of like long sleeved tops this year where I have absolutely been the 2X, and the 3X was just a little bit too much fabric for me. So I will start with the 3X, and if we think it looks a little big, we can switch over to the 2X for that. Okay. This one also has a keyhole button closure in the back, so let's hope I can get that done up by myself. It's a pretty stretchy like loop, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh yeah, that was not a problem. I'm just gonna check myself in the mirror quickly first to make sure I'm not having anything hanging out that shouldn't be hanging out. There we go. So this is kind of like a baby doll cut dress. It feels just very doll like in general, I think is the best way to describe this one. So this is the Michaela Floral Tiered Dress in black. Again, this is from the Haptics brand. This one is retailing for $64, and it's available in sizes small through 3X, with a 1X large being the intermediate size there. We do find that this one is true to size. So Christine is in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X, I am in the 3X. I might try the 2X, but I do think I am going to end up preferring this 3X. I do find that the neck and the collar kind of sit in a way there because there's no stretch in the elastic around the neck. And I think if I size down, I might, like I'm good with where it is now, but I do think if I size down, I might find that the shoulders come in a little bit too close and the collar might sit a little bit too snug. So I think for my shoulders, I am going to be sticking with the 3X. I do find that I do have quite a bit of flounce in the body with the 3X. I probably could, from like here down, I probably could size down, but because of the neck and whatnot, and also because of the length, I think I would stick with the 3X. I would potentially belt around the waist for myself, just because I find I'm not getting the waist definition that I would like, because it is very much like a true like baby doll cut. But I do love the flouncy layers. I feel like this kind of gives like Wednesday vibes without being like too black and too macabre. But I think the high neck and then the almost like bell sleeve, because it is like a big flowy sleeve that does come gathered into an elastic around the wrists. I do think it gives that kind of fun vibe with this one. I love that we also have this little delicate, I'm trying to get rid of these little straps so they're not showing. There we go. I do like we have this like delicate kind of ruffle around the neckline and this little pleat in the bust line here. And the fabric is really neat. I like this little floral pattern. That's not really like a realism floral. It almost looks like it's kind of got like a stitched, drawn kind of vibe, which I think is really pretty. There are pockets. It's so funny you asked that, because when I was doing, well, I didn't do my actual photos, but I always, like when I go to pose, I always like, that's my first thing is I do this, and I'm like, oh, pockets, I was feeling for them, and I was like, I don't think there is, and then I found them, and there is. They're not very substantial pockets. I don't think I would put anything of value in them. They're kind of only about the size of my hand, but they're, as I like to say, they're the kind of pockets where if you're awkward and you don't know what to do with your hands in an interaction, they're somewhere to put your hands when you don't know where to put your hands, which I do appreciate. So yes, there are pockets, just not enough that I would actually like put anything that I don't want to lose in them, but pockets indeed. Right, Alyssa? I know, I love that so many dresses are having pockets now, because it is not that hard to just open the seam up and put a little pocket in there and shoop, it is like, I'm so glad that that's a thing. We do have kind of the puff sleeve effect, not super dramatic ruffle sleeve, but we do have a little bit of a ruffle sleeve effect on this one. And then if I turn around, it might be kind of hard to see, but we do have the keyhole back here, and it does close with the button. It is really nice and stretchy on the loop. So for me, I can reach this no problem. I was able to do this up by myself, no problem. And then if I step away, we can see it is quite a short length on me. On Christine, it's like a knee-length dress, but on me, being as tall as I am, it is a little bit shorter. It's not so short that I feel like anything's gonna like fall out, but I just wanted to show, to advise that for me on a taller frame, it is definitely a mini dress. And it definitely passes the swoosh test. And like I said, I just feel very much like a Victorian doll in this. I feel like I just need one of those like big like amulets that have the lady in them, are they ivory or jade, whatever they're made out of, like the old antique brooches or necklaces that have the little thing in them. Very cute. I think that would be like a really cute thing to wear with this. You could dress up as like a little Victorian doll for Halloween with this, and just like do very like doll-like face paint with the very like pouty lips and big eyelashes. That could be really cute. So again, this is the Michaela Floral Tier dress in black. $64 for this one. This one is from the brand Haptics. True to size, we are all wearing our typical sizes, which includes myself in the 3X for this one. If my shoulders weren't as broad, I could potentially size down to the 2X, but between needing the width for my shoulders and also the length, I would definitely say the 3X is my size for this one. Wow, it's noon and we're finally through the first day. I mean, part of that is on me because I was, 5 minutes late getting started, but also we just did all the cute stuff, and we had the, I wanted to talk a lot about these because these ones are launching now in an hour, because they're launching at 1 p.m. and they're incredible, so I wanted to give them the due attention that they deserve. So I'll try to go a little bit faster through the rest of the week, but yeah. Carrie put that dress on backwards with the keyhole bit and it totally works. Good to know. If I haven't been yapping so much, I would totally try that right now, but because I've already spent an hour, I probably won't today. Maybe I'll take a selfie afterwards. I'll try it the other way around and see if it works. But I kind of thought that too when I put it on, because it's not like a super low keyhole, it's just a little bit like in the front. I feel like that would totally work. Okay, let's move on to Wednesday, which is October 1st. That's crazy. It does not feel like, it feels like September didn't even happen, honestly. 10:01:25. Okay, so what do I have? I have the Harbor hoodies, I have the Kenley, I have the jeans, yes. Okay, so this is, I've got 3 pieces for this day. So I will take the jeans and the 2 tops over and I will change and be right back. Okay, I think I'll bring the 2X and the 3X. I can't, well, I guess maybe I'll bring I think I like the 3X, I can't remember. I know I wanted the 3X in this one. And I know I want the 18s in the jeans. All right, and I forgot to bring the Friends back from the other stuff, so I'll put this back here. I just like it, it's a good visual representation of like, this is what we've already talked about. I don't want to just like leave them over there. I feel like it's nice when you guys can kind of see like what we've been talking about throughout the live, so then you can kind of remember like, oh wait, how much was that like purple sweater again? Okay, let's start with the rib top, just because I think that one will be easier to pull up and talk about the jeans afterwards. Okay, so this is the Kenley ribbed long sleeve top in the color taupe. This one is retailing for $46. This one is the brand PS Kate. This one is available in sizes small through 3X, with a 1X large being the intermediate size for this one. This one is true to size. Christine wears the small, Carrie can wear the medium or the large, just kind of depending on how you want it to fit, whether you want it to be a little bit more slim fit or loose. Melissa wears the 1X, and then I'm wearing my typical 3X for this one. The material on this one is a rayon spandex blend. This one is like a true, like classic ribbed knit material. It's that really fine rib that has a lot of horizontal stretch like that. What's the front floral with orange on the rack? I'm assuming you're talking about this one. This is the Zoe Zip Cowl. This is the one that we're doing as our bonus launch at 1 p.m. So these ones launch in only an hour, Kaylee. These are from Michelle May, and they're absolutely fantastic. They kind of have a little zip on the front here as the cowl neck. They fit very much like reminiscent of like ampersand kind of pieces. I said they're kind of like the midpoint between an ampersand and a Wannakomi with how they fit. They're absolutely stunning. I found with these, especially if you're in the for the straight sizes, they're true to size, but for plus, I found that I could size down in this, so I could wear the 1X or the 2X. The 2X fit me a little bit more relaxed, and the 1X fit me the way that a typical ampersand double hood in a 3X would fit, and that was what I preferred because I like hoodies like this to have, or cowl necks, because this one doesn't have a hood, it just has the cowl neck all the way around, but I prefer them to have a little bit of a slimmer fit, so I wore the 1X in this one. Say it again, it's great because then people, because this was the first thing we talked about, so if people are joining late, they can be like, wait a minute, what is that absolute stunning thing? Because that's kind of, that's probably, I was gonna say that's my favorite piece of the day, but I can't lie, it's the Sherpa, it's gotta be the Sherpa, it's my favorite piece. That one's for sale today at 1 p.m. So they're going live in literally an hour. They'll be live on the website for those ones, Kaylee. Yeah, 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is our current time zone here in Sherwood Park. So would highly suggest logging on in an hour to check them out because they are absolutely stunning. They come in sizes small through 3X with both an extra large and a 1X. And like I said, compared to like, if you're familiar with ampersand double hood sizing, I would say you could size one down from that sizing for sure. At least for sure in the plus sizes for what I can speak to. Okay, this one again, this is the Kenley Rib Long Sleeve, $46, sizes small through 3X. I believe we had this in another colorway launch last week. This is one of those tops that I love because it's tight without being like super tight, but it's those like bodysuit, not bodysuits, because it's nice and close to the body. You could tuck this in and have the bodysuit effect without having to deal with like the little tails or anything like that. Right, Kaylee, it's stunning. Michelle May has been absolutely killing it this year, and this piece is like one of the nicest ones we've seen. But yeah, we've got there's like also this really nice little ruching if you did want to wear this over top, which is just a nice fun detail to add a little bit of extra texture and whatnot. It is a really nice length, so again, if you didn't want to tuck it in, you're going to get lots of nice coverage, but because it is more of like a slim profile shirt, you're going to be able to tuck it in and get that full bodysuit effect really nicely with this one. I also love the scoop neck. I like that it's a way to show a little bit more like clavicle and collarbone without it being too like cleavagey, which I really like, especially because I don't have a lot of cleavage to show anyways, but I do like my collarbone, so I like being able to show a little bit more of the skin but still having it be like appropriate and not having it be like too booby to wear like my corporate job or anything like that. So again, this is the Kenley Ribbed Long Sleeve Top in taupe. This one's retailing for $46. It's from the brand PS Kate. Size is small through 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizes for this one. Okay, we also have this one launching in the color denim, but that one is only available small, medium, large, so that one's not in plus. But if you are not plus size, you do have that launching in a second colorway as well. Okay, and next we're going to be moving on to the Harbor Long Sleeve Hoodie in Coffee, which I have here. I grabbed the 3X to try on, but I have the 2X because I can't remember which size I liked better when I tried them on. So let me just double check. And by double check, I mean I'm going to put on the 3X and then we'll see what I like once I have it on. This hoodie has such a nice, like, slinky feeling fabric. Okay, I think I like the 3X in this one. It is like a very relaxed fit, but intentionally so, and I think that I would lose some of that like comf factor if I were to size down to the 2X. So I think I'm gonna stick with my 3X for this one. Oh shoot, I was gonna talk about the jeans while I had that other top on. Oh well. Yeah, so this is the 3X. It does have a really nice slouchy, relaxed, like almost oversized fit. I do think that I could wear the 2X, but I want to preserve that slouchy fit. So I am gonna stick with the 3X for this one. Again, this is the Harbor Long Sleeve Hoodie in Coffee. This one is from Hamish. We've started getting stuff from Hamish again. I know a lot of us have been wondering when they're going to come back with the whole tariff situation and whatnot, and they've been able to, Carrie and Christine have been able to work something out with them, so we are able to order from them again, so we've been slowly getting them back. So this is one of the pieces. This one's available in sizes small through 3X. Again, I'm wearing my typical 3X in this one. It is a very slouchy, relaxed fit, but everyone is still wearing their true size. So Christine's in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa's in the 1X, and again, I'm in my typical 3X for this one, and because I like the intentionally slouchy, relaxed fit, I would not size down. This one is a poly spandex blend, and yeah, it's just very like smooth. It's hard to it's like a very sleek feeling fabric. It's hard to describe. It almost feels like it could be like a sport fabric, if that makes sense. It's just really unique and slick, and I like it a lot. I also love this coffee color. It's very much like, it's a very neutral brown. It maybe leans slightly warm, but I like that it's not like a super warm like caramel brown, but it's also not like a super dark like blue based brown. It is like a pretty neutral brown that you could wear either warm or cool either way. It does have a nice band around the waist that is quite stretchy and elastic, so you can have it pulled all the way down, or you could kind of like what I like to do, just bring it up a little bit so it kind of gets that kind of like poof effect right around the hips there. We do have the kangaroo pocket, and the inside is also, it's got this like very, it's hard to see, but it's just this really interesting like slick feeling fabric. And then we do have these exposed seams happening at the front of the hoodie here, which I think is a fun little detail, just to give it a little extra something something for pizzazz. And then we can see from the back, we've got the hood and just that same kind of fun, comfy, slouchy vibe going on throughout. So again, this is the Harbor long sleeve hoodie in the color coffee. $47 for this one. Sizes small through 3X. We're all wearing our typical sizes in this one, which includes myself in my usual 3X. I did not opt to size down for this one. I liked the 3X as it was. Okay, so that is everything that I have for the Wednesday. So we'll move on to Thursday, October 2nd. So we had the Dorothy sweater, which I accidentally tried on at the start of my live. This one is not technically plus, it is small, medium, large, but we did find that it was very oversized, so I could wear the size large, and it was cropped on me, like I was wearing it with a pair of high-waisted jeans. I just realized I forgot to talk about the jeans that are on Wednesday, so I'll go back for those. But yeah, so a reminder for Thursday, we have these. We have the Dorothy short sleeve sweater. This is the taupe, and then we also have it in black as well. I did try this one on at the very start of the live because they were over here on my rack, so I thought maybe they launched yesterday or that they were the bonus drop today, but no, the bonus drop is the cowl necks. So these are a Thursday daily drop at 8 p.m. Sizes small, medium, large, but they are very oversized, so you can definitely size down. I can wear the large, no problem, but they are very cropped, but they still work. Okay, let's go back to Wednesday so that I can look at the jeans because I totally forgot to talk about them. Okay. So these are from Judy Blue, of course. I'm going to try my best to like tuck up the hoodie as best as I can so we can actually see the jeans as we're talking about them. So these are the tinted dark mid-rise wide leg. Tinted dark mid-rise wide leg, aka the Aidens. These ones are retailing for $103 and they're available in sizes 0 through 15 and then 14 through 22W. I'm wearing my typical 18 in these ones. And it looks like everyone else is also wearing their typical size. So Christine in the 3, Carrie in the 9, Melissa's 14, and I am in the 18. So typical sizing for this one. It's described as a wide leg, but I honestly feel like it's somewhere between a wide leg and a straight leg. Like if I kind of pop my layout, like there's a little bit of extra room, but I do feel like for me, wide leg I feel like is a lot like looser cut from the hips and just kind of whoosh straight down. So I think they're kind of somewhere between a straight and a wide leg, if that makes sense. They are just a really nice mid to dark wash denim. They don't have any, well, there's like maybe the tiniest bit of whiskering and a little bit of fading. And then they do have a raw hem on these ones. Let's see if I can do some yoga and lift my leg up high enough. Not very well. But I guess, oh wait, I have another pair. I can just hold it up. I always forget that. So this is the 20 that are not, but they do have a raw hem that already comes with a decent amount of fraying. But these ones do, if I get up close, we can see, these ones do have the stitching on the frayed hem, so they're not going to continue to fray, or at least not very much more. So it's not like you're gonna slowly have these turn into capris on you over the time and the washes and whatnot. So they will stay as a wide leg, full length jean and not become a capri for you. Again, I don't have the inseam for these, but they're long-ish on me. Of course, they're not long enough because I need like a 35, 36. But I would say these are probably a 32, 32 and a half. So they are going to be a pretty decent length for you, but they're not going to be so long that you're going to be absolutely swimming on them if you're on the shorter side. Christine was wearing these with a little bit of a heel. Actually, I feel like looking at it, Christine would probably want to get these hemmed if she had them. But I also have a foot on Christine, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I find that they're not super long, but they're also a little bit longer than some Judy's as well. They're not super short. Honestly, right, Melissa? Let's see if I can like pull my foot over my head. I was never very good at yoga. I've tried several times and I have terrible balance. It's not for me. And I'm flexible in some ways, but not others. Like my back is really flexible. I can like fold over and touch my toes and like all the way where I can like wrap my arms around my legs and go like flat palmed on the floor behind me. But my hips are really tough. So doing anything where you have to like go into like a wide thing is really hard because my hips are not flexible. So I had a hard time with yoga. Anyways, again, these are the Judy Blue Tinted Dark Mid-Rise Wide Legs, aka the Aidens. The back, you can see that they're, other than like the frayed hem, there's no other distressing, just a little bit of fading on this really nice darker wash. $103 for these ones, 0 through 15, and then 14 through 22W. I'm wearing my typical 18, and the rest of us gals all wore our typical Judy sizes for these ones as well. Okay, now let's go back to Thursday because I have been all over the place today. Good thing, it's probably a good thing that I do have the day off at work because clearly my brain is not where it should be for me to be like writing reports and like working on like report with lots of numbers and data because my brain is not in the right place for that today. Okay, so actually we don't really have much else for Thursday. There's not a lot of plus size, there's technically no plus size for Thursday, other than we have, again, the Dorothy short sleeves, which small, medium, large, but fit very oversized, so these ones definitely worked for me. So I guess we'll move on to Friday, which I'm really excited about. This vest, you guys, this black vest is everything to me. It's incredible. Maybe not everything because again, we still have this one, which is probably the true winner of the day. But between, like, it's a good week. Like between the Michelle May cowl neck, the quality, and then this Dex vest, like there's a lot of stuff that I want all of it, but I can only pick one, and I am stewing over which one I need the most. So anyways, let's move on to Friday, which is October 3rd. On October 3rd, Aaron Samuels asked me what day it was. It's October 3rd. It's also my first dog's birthday is October 3rd, and that's how I remember it because it's Mean Girls Day. And so every year, I always go to my husband and I'm like, do you know what day it is today? And he's like, it's Tochi's birthday. And then I said, on October 3rd, Aaron Samuels asked me what day it was. And he's like, shouldn't the dog's birthday be more important? I'm like, yes, but that's why I remember the dog's birthday. Anyways, we have quite a few things for the Friday. We've got the color block sweater from Michelle May. We've got a pocket sweater. This is the one I was thinking of. The Naomi pocket sweater, which is like Michelle May's version of the Lucine pocket sweater. We've got a long sleeve, so very like olive themed colorways for sure. We don't have any pants, at least not that work for me. There's some Dex pants is launching, but I'm just gonna keep these on because we don't have any plus size pants. So let's start with the color block sweater. I see I have 3 sizes here. I'm guessing, did that mean I liked, so I have the 4X, I definitely won't want that. I'm gonna do the 2X. I think that's what I did in this one. For a second I was like, oh, did I take the 1X while I was doing photos and that's why there's an extra here? But no, the extra is the 4X. So I guess just to show that we do have this one that goes up to a 4X, which is fantastic. And that's another reason why I love Michelle May so much, because their sizing is super inclusive. Not everything comes up to a 4X, but a lot of stuff does, and even then, like I've mentioned multiple times today, I find that their plus sizing tends to be a little bit more on the generous side anyways, so people who maybe sometimes are kind of like a 3X sometimes works, but sometimes it's a little bit snug, a 3X from Michelle May will absolutely work for them, and then we sometimes also have those 4Xs for those who need that as well, or who even just want to have that more comfy, slouchy, relaxed kind of fit. Okay, so here is the first piece that we have from Michelle May for Friday. This is the 2X that I'm wearing for this one. So this is the color block sweater in the color Neutral Mix. This one's retailing for $79, sizes small through 4X, including both an extra large and a 1X. So there is 8 different sizes for this one, 8 regular sizes and 8 plus sizes, which is incredible. I love, love, love that Michelle May offers that. So nice. So this one is an acrylic poly blend for the sweater, which, I mean, that's a lot of yarn is made from that. It is a slightly relaxed fit, but we do describe it as true to size. So Christine wears the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and then I am in the 2X. So typical to our Michelle May sizing for this one. It is a little bit of a longer and slimmer fit sweater, which I really like, that it is slightly relaxed, but it's still like a really nice long line silhouette. I find that these are really nice sweaters to wear for like professional outfits, and they also really layer nicely with things like vests or anything like that because they aren't quite as bulky and as wide of a silhouette. I love the different colorways that we get. It's definitely a really nice neutral blend. This olive kind of army green color is a really nice neutral. Leans maybe slightly cool, and I would say overall it's very neutral with maybe a slight cool leaning, but I do find like this brown in the middle is a little bit more warm toned and the cream's a little bit more warm toned, so it is really nice and balanced in terms of like color temperature for this one, and I just like the different mix that they used. We can get up close and we can see that it's this really fine, almost like waffle-ish knit, not quite. And then we do have the ribbed cuffs, and we have the ribbed collar here, and then we do have some ribbing at the waistband here too. It's not like super intense, like it's not going to make it like come in really tight like the bottom of like this hoodie or anything like that, but it is going to give a little bit more definition there around the hip area. So once again, this is the Color Block sweater in neutral mix from Michelle May. This one is retailing for $79 and it's available in sizes small through 4X, which is incredible. We are all wearing our typical Michelle May sizing for this one, which includes myself in the 2X. Perfect. Next, we have the pocket sweater. This is the one, I forget what it's called, but it's very much reminds me of the Lucene pocket sweaters, but Michelle May's take on them. And because it's not these like small, medium, or medium large like the Lucenes were typically, there's definitely a bit more freedom with the sizing to get something a little bit more customized, if that makes sense. It's not kind of just slimmer or baggier, and especially for me being plus size, I could wear the Lucene pocket sweaters in the medium large, but being able to have one that's a little bit more like catered towards my true size is really nice. And so I am wearing the 2X in this sweater, and as you guys will see in a second, it is absolutely stunning. I debated sizing down to the 1X for this one, but I do think that the 2X does fit me kind of as intended, and I think part of that is because I'm so used to the Lucene pocket sweaters being so tight on me, because I am sizing down in them from like my typical 2X, 3X into a large, or into a medium large or a large extra large. So I like, this is how the Lucene pocket sweaters fit like Christina and Carrie. So that's why I was like, I think that was clouding my judgment. I was like, I need to size down. No, I think this is like the intended fit. I'm just not used to having it fit me the way that it was designed for the Lucene. So it's really nice to have that option in the Michelle May version. Lori, aka my mother, if you're watching this, I think you would absolutely adore this. This just seems like something you would love. Honestly, I could see you really liking this. Anyways, this is the Naomi pocket sweater in the shade Olive. This one is retailing for $69 and it's available in sizes small through 3X. And again, because it's Michelle May, that includes both an extra large and a 1X. We're all wearing our typical sizes with this one. So Christine's in the small, Carrie's in the medium. Melissa can wear the extra large or the 1X, kind of depending on the day and the vibe. And then I am in my usual 2X. And then seeing that Melissa was kind of between sizes on it, leaning towards the 1X or the extra large, that kind of reassured me that no, like the 2X, like this is the intended fit for this one for sure. Difference between the fabric, and I think the Michelle May is nicer in terms. Yes, the Michelle May is definitely like just a softer feeling fabric as well. It's maybe a little bit thicker as well. It is at a higher price point, but I mean that is because like Michelle May is using some like really nice high quality fabrics because of that. But I mean, even that being said, still at $69, it is still a really accessible price point. This one is a viscose blend for this one. It's really nice and stretchy. This is what I was talking about earlier. That's why I was like, it launched last week, but no, it's because I was thinking of this sweater that I tried on last week for photos, but it's launching this week, where it's got kind of like the tighter, it's like the cuff is like the whole sleeve and then has the dolman effect on the sides. That being said, despite being like a more snug sleeve, it's not tight by any means. Like it doesn't feel like it's squeezing me. It's not uncomfortable. It's a really nice fit. And I also really like, if you are someone who has bigger upper arms, where the tight part stops and it goes into the flowy is at like the perfect part that if you do have a bigger upper arm, like for me, I have the bat wings or the bingo wings, as I've heard them called, where it flaps down, but because of where the seam starts, it's like perfectly perfectly avoids all of that. So, so if you do have bigger upper arms, because of where the sleeve is cut on this one, it's gonna just like bypass all of that. So you'll get it tight right until that happens, and then it's gonna be nice and loose and forgiving for that. So if you are someone with bigger upper arms, you don't have to worry about the arms being tight on this one, because it's tight in the forearms and then it's really nice and loose and flowy where it matters on the upper arm part. And that is coming from someone who does have bigger upper arms. Mine are a combination of having the flaps and then not as big as they used to, but I used to have biceps as well because I used to be a power lifter. That was it was like 6 years ago, but I mean, still, I do have a bit more muscle than like the average woman. I don't go to the gym anymore, but I still like, just from my lifestyle of lifting dogs all over the place and like doing a lot of stuff and coming from a farm, I've always been like I have what I call like the strongman competitor build, where I'm both fat and muscular. And because of that, I'm built like a brick house. Like I am absolutely solid. And it was great, again, around the farm. It made me real tough. The high school football coach kept trying to recruit me to the football team when I was in high school, and I had absolutely no desire, because it was a boys team, not a girls team. And it was our first time having a football team. I was like, absolutely not. I played volleyball. That was my designated tall girl sport. Every tall girl has to play either volleyball or basketball. I did play basketball in junior high, but volleyball was my sport. Anyways, I'm rambling again. I am so sorry, you guys. I have been so yappy today. So anyways, again, this is the Naomi pocket sweater in olive. $69 for this one. It sizes small through 3X. I am in my typical 2X for this one that I wear from Michelle May. True to size for this one. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, if you have larger upper arms and you're worried about the tight sleeves, don't be, because they're only tight until just above, like just after the elbow, which is also nice because then you're not getting a seam in the elbow pit, because that sucks. I hate when that happens. So it's like it's cut in a way that don't worry about your arms, because it's going to be like loose where it needs to be loose to help you out. Okay, what else do we have? We have the Alyssa long sleeve, and then we have the Dex jacket and the, oh, okay, sweet. Perfect. I saved the best top for layering with the jacket, so I'll do the top and the jacket first, and then I'll come back for the vest afterwards. Oh, I liked this top a lot too. This is another one similar to the, I can't even remember, the Kinley or whatever, the rib top. The top that I'm trying on now from Michelle May has a similar like low scoop neck, which again, I really like, because I can show off some clavicle and some collarbone without it being like cleavagey, although I'm sure it's probably a bit more cleavagey on someone who actually has cleavage. Okay, let's start with the puffer jacket here, bomber jacket. I don't know how we've actually described it. I'll tell you in a minute here. We'll talk about the jacket, then I'll talk about the top underneath, and then I'll grab the vest, which layers perfectly with this top. So the jacket and the vest that's over here, the black vest, are both from Dex. So this is the Crisp Air Drawstring Quilted Jacket in olive. This one's retailing for $140 from Dex. Sizes extra small through 2X, which is the full Dex size range of extra small through extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. So this one is typical-ish, I'll say, for Dex fitting. So both Christine and Carrie were either their typical size or sized up. So Christine could wear the extra small or the small. Carrie could wear the medium or the large. Melissa wears the X, and then I am in the 2X for this one. It is lyocell and cotton for this one, which I'm not 100% familiar with what lyocell is, but cotton's a natural fiber, so I'm assuming lyocell is maybe like a semi-natural fiber. I have no idea. But anyways, we have these fun pockets here on the front. They are nice and deep. There's no closure. They do have just this kind of stitching to reinforce the opening. And then it is definitely very much like a quilted, like it feels like a quilt, even in the way that the texture of the jacket feels. And then of course this patterning is definitely giving like quilted, like cool blanket vibes. So the reason that this one is called the drawstring jacket is because inside we have these two drawstrings kind of bomber style. So if you wanted to cinch up the waist a little bit, you could. I have it so that it's like loose-ish, but you could pull it tight. I found with myself on this jacket, I didn't have a ton of room around the waist to cinch it in compared to where it's at, but you could kind of cinch it in so it gives more of like that bomber silhouette if you wanted. There's lots of length on them as well. I just kind of have it tied in a knot here. And you could also, if you wanted, theoretically like tie them together to kind of use it as a jacket close if you wanted to. But it does lots of room on the strings so that you would be able to cinch those up quite a bit if that is what you so preferred. And then if I turn around, no hood on this one, just kind of like the standing pop collar and more of that quilted texture all the way around the back for this one. It is quite warm too, like I've only had it on for a couple of minutes here and I'm already like, oh yeah, it's a little warm. I mean, it also helps that it's noon and I've been yapping at you guys for an hour and a half changing clothes. But yeah, so anyways, this is the Dex Crisp Air Drawstring Quilted Jacket in olive. This one is available for $140 and it's sizes extra small through 2X, and we all either wear our true deck size or can go up, and I'm assuming that's if you wanted to wear it just kind of as is true size, but if you want to give it that cool puffy effect, size up so that you have room to cinch in the waistband and give it that cool like puffer jacket effect. If I had the option to size up to a 3X, I probably would so that I could try it on and do that, but the 2X, without doing much of the cinched vibe, it does still fit and work for me really well. Okay, I'll grab the hanger over here, and then we can talk about the long sleeve that I'm wearing. This is the Alyssa. It's funny because this is called the Alyssa long sleeve top, and one of my best friends, her name is Alyssa, and this is exactly the kind of top I could see her wearing. I feel like she owns something very similar to this. Color especially, I met her at university and we were both in environmental science. She's very much like very green, crunchy, like not quite full hippie, but very granola, very like spend time outside and all that kind of stuff. Drive a Subaru, like very outdoorsy. And this color, cut, everything, this is just screams something that she would wear. So the fact that it's actually called the Alyssa makes me laugh a little bit. So this is the Alyssa long sleeve top in olive. This one's retailing for $54, sizes small through 3X. And this one is from Michelle May. Of course, oops. Oh, what did I do? That's not where I want. There we go. So this one is true to size. Everyone's wearing their typical sizes, so Christine's in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X, and then I'm in my usual 2X that I will wear for Michelle May for this one. So again, similar cut to the, I keep forgetting, is it the Kinley? I think this is what this was called. The Kinley, I was close, sorry, the letter off. Similar to the Kinley, it is a long fit, slightly, it's like not super skin tight, but it is a slimmer fit, just a nice true to size fit. It has the long sleeves, and then it also has this low wide scoop neck, again, so I can show off a little bit more clavicle without it being like full busty. Again, part of that is probably just the fact that I don't have a lot of bust to show in the first place with my 46B bra that I'm wearing right now. But yeah, just really nice, super soft, a really nice, just smooth feeling, like typical jersey knit fabric. It is a rayon spandex blend for this one. And then I'll turn around so we can see that it's got a little bit of that rounded effect going on in the back as well, which is a nice kind of like continuation of that nice like softer neckline shape. So again, this is the Alyssa long sleeve top in olive, $54 for this one. It sizes small through 3X, and we're all wearing our typical sizes, which includes a 2X for me because that is what I wear in 99.5% of Michelle May clothing. Okay, and then finally, my I think second favorite piece of the week. Like I said, it's really, oh, it's so hard. There's three, like from the cowl neck, the quality, and then this jacket. I love all three of them. It's very tempting, but I can only get one. I'm gonna have to stew over which one I want. Okay. So this is from Dex, as I mentioned briefly before. This is the Autumn Hooded Puffer Vest in black. This was retailing for $130, and it's available in the full Dex size range of extra small to extra large for the straight sizes, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. I'm wearing the 2X in this one, and everyone is wearing their typical Dex sizes. So Christine can wear the extra small or a small. Melissa's in the medium, Melissa is in the X, and then again, I am in the 2X for this one. I do find that compared to the olive one that came out earlier this year, I'll say this one is maybe slightly more generous. At first I thought maybe it's just because I'm a little bit smaller than I was when I tried on the olive green one earlier this year, but Carrie also agreed with me that she felt like this one was maybe just slightly roomier, especially in the like kind of stomach and hip area. I feel like this one just has a little bit more room. Not so much that I feel like I could size down, but I do have a decent amount of room in the bust. Like, I'm not sure if you can see, but if I'm pulling away like the armpits, like they're not right against me. And even in the hips, like it's not like tight on my hips. There's still a little bit of wiggle room there, but especially kind of in this area, I still have quite a bit of room in this one. I am kind of curious, I might go see if I can zip up the 1X. I have a feeling I might be able to zip it up, but it might be tight on my hips, but I'm gonna try. Where is it? If I were to purchase this for myself, I would definitely still get the 2X, just because I want to save room for layering underneath of it, of course, because it's really nice and puffy and warm on the inside. I mean, it's kind of hard to show that off, but like all of these little like puffer cells, like you can just feel how warm and squishy they are. And then the inside of the vest, or the inside of the vest has that same polyester lining, but then when you reach in the pockets, it's got that like teddy fleece lining, so it's really nice and warm to put your pockets in, which is fantastic. So again, I'm wearing the 2X. I'm curious because I haven't tried the 1X yet, and I don't know if I'll be able to zip it up. I think, I have a theory that I'll be able to zip it up, but I think it's gonna be a little snug on the hips, but I'm just kind of curious to see, because like I said, this one is definitely more generously cut than the olive one that we had earlier this year. Yeah, so that is exactly kind of what I expected. So I can wear the 1X, I can definitely zip it up. It's actually not as tight in the hips as I thought it would be, but I still prefer the 2X because this feels really nice layered over a thinner long sleeve shirt like this. But I do think if I was trying to layer this over a hoodie, which is exactly what I would be trying to do, I do think that kind of in this like hip stomach area here, I guess not so much my stomach, but like this hip and like booty area, I think I would be a little bit out of room here from like where the waist of a hoodie would sit for that. The vest is on Friday at 8 p.m. It's part of the Friday Grady drop, so it's going to be Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for the vest. So this is kind of organized by day, so all of this is today. This is all going to be Wednesday, and then these are the only Thursday pieces that worked, and then everything past this little red thing. This is all Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Yeah, no problem. That is why I am here. So yeah, so I will say true to size for this one, but just something to keep in mind that this one is a little bit roomier. So like, if you're really worried about it, you might be able to size down. Like I said, I can wear the 1X, but I still prefer the 2X because it would be a little bit better for being able to layer. And then the other thing too is I found that the 2X just gave me a little bit more length, which being 6'1" is something that I always appreciate in any garment, is when I have a bit more length to play with on it. So once again, these are the Autumn Hooded Puffer Vest from Dex. These ones are going to be launching on Friday, and they're going to be retailing for $130. So they are available in sizes extra small through extra large for the regular sizes, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. Again, they are true to size. We're all wearing our typical deck sizes in these ones. And again, just for funsies, I wanted to see if I could wear the 1X. I could, but if I were to purchase for myself, which I very well might, I would still purchase the 2X just so I still have room to layer stuff underneath. But if I were not planning on wearing it over things like hoodies and light jackets, and I just wanted to layer it with something like a long sleeve like this, I could definitely get away with the 1X for myself. So anyways, once again, oh wait, no, I think that's everything. I was gonna say, once again, we have more, but no, that was everything. I don't have any weekend stuff here, so that is everything. And I mean, it's 12:40. I have been yapping for a long time, considering I was only like 5 minutes late. But I mean, the fact that I spent half an hour just talking about these ones, which as a reminder, these drop at 1 p.m. So in 20 minutes, the cowl necks will be dropping, sizes small through 3X from Michelle May. Absolutely stunning, stunning, stunning. I think they were $99. Incredible pieces in 20 minutes. But because I spent half an hour just yapping about those and trying on 3 different sizes of them, that definitely didn't help. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me, especially for this long, because like I said, I have been yapping at you guys for a while. But anyways, my name is Michelle. I am the larger plus size model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. We have 2 plus size models. I'm on the larger end of our plus size spectrum. So I'm typically a 2X, 3X. I wear an 18W in Judy Blue jeans. And for height reference, I'm 6'1", so I'm also very tall, and that affects how length and how I carry clothes and stuff kind of works. So I try on all of the plus size drops for the week for Lavender and Lace every Tuesday at 11 a.m. mounted daylight time. For now, it'll be standard again soon. So if that is something that interests you, you can check me out exactly where you found me here right now, which is either on Facebook or Instagram, and I will be live again at 11 a.m. next week. So take care. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.